Well, the time has come. I have decided to go ahead and pull this little 355 out with 930 miles on it, not even 1,000 miles, and upgrade it to a 383 stroker, pushing out 522 horsepower, 490 torque. So one of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I had a little bit of an issue. Had a small fire right here. You can see it melted the wire loom, but it didn't do any damage to the wires. Not a big deal. Yanking it out like that, here we go. This one will be out and like that, the engine is out. What I did not expect to have to do is take the whole transmission with it. Unfortunately, the transmission bolts are pushed up against a firewall, and I just couldn't get it out. So I ended up pulling it out, no big deal. I found some other issues at hand. I found that the collector pipes melted, causing, damage, and yeah, I'm sick still, causing blowout. I'm gonna get a plate make over here, not a big deal. But I also noticed that I've only been running on 6 cylinders. See right there, yep, dead cylinder, and over here, same thing, dead cylinder. So might be a good thing that I'm putting in the new one. If you would like to see this build, this S10 build from start to finish, all you gotta do is click in one of these top corners and you'll be able to see it from the $500 truck that I purchased all the way to what you see right now. It's a good little build. It was fun. If you plan on doing it, do it your way. Don't take anybody else's advice. Have fun doing it. The new engine is ready. 383 stroker, 11-to-1 compression, using some of the same parts in the old motor. New single plane intake instead of dual plane. So this should put out a few more horses, a few more ponies. We'll find out soon. Alright, the engine is back in the car. I did end up cutting it right here. And I also tack welded the nuts on the collector on all the way around. That way I can actually just, use a socket to put them in. Same with this side. Actually works a lot better now. Cut it, tack it, and yeah, we're good. First start of the new 383 engine. I had to redo the tune because the tune was still set to the 355. So here we go. I'd say the engine works a little bit better than the old one did. One thing that I highly recommend you do after you get a couple heat cycles on the engine, I've already put about 300 miles on this engine, and I brought it back in the shop because after you get a couple heat cycles, you want to make sure that your header bolts are still nice and tight all the way around. I recommend doing it while it's still at least lukewarm, not necessarily hot. And after you do that, you also want to check your collector bolts. I found that my collector bolts are actually really loose after 300 miles compared to my header bolts. But my header bolts, especially this back one way back here, this one ended up being really loose, almost halfway out, where everything else was still somewhat tight. So always double check after you get a few heat cycles on, make sure them header bolts are nice and tight.